So from tabletop pose with a couple of bricks available to you, a solid thick bricky blocks, knees underneath hips, wrists under the shoulders, tucking the toes under, keeping the knees bent and the heels up. We're going to stretch the sitting bones up to the sky behind you and press the hands down and forward through the mat. It's almost as if you're pressing the hands down and forward and the feet down and back. So if you weren't on a sticky mat, you would just splat to the floor. And you can keep the heels up and the knees as bent as you want to, so that you can really feel that stretch in that upper back. You can pedal out the legs, might release some tension in the Achilles and the calf muscles as well. Keep the neck soft. Take some lovely deep breaths, expanding through the rib cage. You can always bend the knees and come down if you need to. Go back up when you're ready, and then we'll walk the feet to the front of the mat. Have the heels under the hips and the blocks under the shoulders. So you need to be able to be tall enough so you can use a chair, you can use extra blocks, so that you can keep the legs straight at this point and really straighten out the spine. Drop the chest as much as you need to so you're not rounding. And you can stay high, or you can work yourself lower and lower. And when it comes to a stage where it's no longer comfortable for your lower back, you may want to bend the knees and curl. So you're coming down through the levels of the bricks. You can stop where you want. You don't have to go right to the floor. There are many positions. The hands can be in front of the feet, by the sides of the feet. They can even be under the feet. There's lots of extremes, or spider fingers, so that you are in control of how much gravity you're dropping down into the earth. Breathing deeply, and then we come back in reverse. We try to lift the chest. So we're not extending the spine into a back bend, but we're lengthening the spine as we come up, so that the higher up we get, the more straight we can get the legs, until maybe we can take the hands under the hips, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other maybe, so that you can hinge up from the hips, come up to standing, roll the shoulders. Just take the blocks to one side, have the heels under the hips, and as you inhale, swan dive the arms up. As you exhale, swan dive down, taking the arms out halfway, and then exhaling, knees are bent. Inhaling, take the right foot back, and as you exhale, drop the knee. As you inhale, pressing the left foot into the floor, take the arms up, and as you exhale, take the hands down, they frame the front foot. Inhaling, lift the back knee, exhale into plank and down. And as you breathe naturally, separate the legs out. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale, forehead to the floor, and then tuck the toes, come onto the knees, and then into your down dog. So you can adjust the foot position. Inhale, rise up with the right leg, and exhale, bring that foot between the hands, dropping the left knee. Inhaling, take the arms up. Exhaling, hands come down. Inhale, lift the back knee, and exhale, press that back foot to meet the front foot. Forward bend, and then inhale with the knees soft, raising the chest, coming up. Exhale, hands in prayer position. Inhale, take the arms out and up, stretch and look up, and exhale, swan dive down. Soften the knees at the point where you need to, tuck the nose into the knees. Inhale, left foot comes back. Exhale, left knee drops. Inhale, rise up with the arms, pressing on the front foot for balance. Exhale, taking the hands down. Inhale, lift the back knee. Exhale into plank, then inhale here. Exhale to the floor. Separate the legs, tops of the feet on the floor. Inhale to cobra, like mummy cats, lifting the back of the neck up. Dropping down, exhaling. Inhale onto hands and knees, and exhale into down dog. Adjust the foot position as much as you need to. Then inhale, sweep the left leg up. Exhale, left foot between the hands, right knee drops. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Inhale, lift the back knee, and exhale, Kicking that back foot forward into a lovely soft forward bend. Then inhale, lift the chest and rise up, pressing on the feet. Exhale, hands come into the chest. And rolling the shoulders back and down. Taking some breaths, a little rest here. Dropping your weight in through the heels, the hips, the shoulders, the ears, all in line. Crown of the head lifting up. And we'll bring a brick with us. Having the bricks where you need to. You're going to step the right leg back. Have the right foot turned to the top of the mat. The left foot is turned to the top of the mat. You can keep your hips a little bit on the diagonal. You don't have to draw that right hip back, but lift and turn the whole rib cage to the right. Left hand forward, right hand back. Soften the shoulders. You can look towards the left fingertips. So again, keeping the right hip forward, and then straighten the legs. Turn to the other side. As you turn your feet to the other side, you'll have to widen out that right foot so that there's a space between your hips, basically, so you're not on a tightrope. Bending the right knee hinging out towards the right little toes. Left hip now is allowed to come forward as you lift and twist the rib cage to the left. Shoulders are dropping, breath is deep, straighten the leg. And now turn both feet forward, parallel them. Probably have to adjust the feet again. Bringing both blocks or bricks in front of you. Bring the thumbs onto the sacrum. Lift the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Hinging from the hips with the spine in neutral. You're going to come down halfway and bring your hands down onto the bricks. Again, you can have higher bricks. Sometimes a brick and a block underneath it or a chair is much more suitable. And again, taking some breaths in each position, trying to maintain the length of the spine as much as you can, as much as is comfortable for you. Working your way down or staying where you are. Working your way through the levels of spine extension, and then maybe moving into spinal flexion, taking the hands between the feet and the forehead towards the floor. You can always bend the knees a little bit or stay up higher and really work on keeping the spine straight rather than curling the spine. There's two actions going on. There's hip flexion and spine flexion, and some of it might not be suitable for your body. And then climbing back up through the stages, basically taking gravity out of the upper body, climbing up until your legs can take all the weight. Your feet are strong, pressing into the floor so that you can bring the hands to the hips, squeeze the shoulder blades behind you and come up back into your standing pose. Zigzag the feet back towards each other. Under the hips, roll the shoulders, just check in with yourself, see how you feel. And we'll take the brick to the side of the mat. Open the legs out again and take the right foot towards the right edge of the mat. Turn it to the right. We're going into triangle. The left foot's pointing forward. Both feet are pointing forward really to the top of the mat. But there's space between the heels. If you imagine a line going through the center of the mat. You're not on a tightrope. Bring your right hand down onto a block. Take your left hand up to the sky. Rotate your ribs to the left. Really opening up the rib cage. And bring the hand on the hip, top hand. Take the block with you. Center the feet. We're going to do that on the other side. So we turn the left foot out this time. Take it over to the left a little bit. All 10 toes pointing towards the left or to the end of the mat. So the right leg is at the back now. The right hip is allowed to move forward. The rib cage moves all the way to face the right. Left hand presses down. It's nice to press on something so that you can really press down and lift up. So you can have a chair there, a block or a brick. So you're not sinking down too much or losing that openness in the chest. Really try to stretch the wings open here. Not trying to take that back hip back at all, allowing it to come forward, but rotating and twisting through the rib cage. We don't need to look up either. We can look straight ahead or down. Coming out, bringing the top hand to the hip, pressing on the foot. Let's move the block and now step the feet to the front. And just take some deep breaths. Feet under the hips.